Handbook for the New Paradigm. Chapter 25. Now that we are beginning to reach a level of understanding of the basic format that is the foundation for your cooperative focus within the larger view, it is possible to expand into more levels of information. These are not at the physical activity level, but in the more important area of using creative thought. Inasmuch as you are a focused fragment of the Creator's awareness, it is now time for you to begin to fulfill your purpose of expanding the use of the holographic concept that has been the vehicle of your trip into third-dimensional experience. This is not a process intended to overwhelm or cause resistance within your awareness. These concepts are known to you at deeper levels and will seem quite familiar, provided you relax and follow the wording. These will begin to stir the inner remembrance process. It is within your understanding that a fragment of a whole can, through the holographic process, depict the whole. It is through the projection of light through the fragment that the illusion of the whole from which it came is reproduced so that the nature of the whole can be known. If this is the case, then you are a picture of the whole from which you were projected. If this is true, then how can there be diversity in what is seen all around you? Shouldn't this be a world of exact replicas? If the source of the replicated whole were limited to one focus of experience, then that would be true. However, if the whole of that source is multidimensional, and within its makeup, holds the potentiality of multiple foci of purpose, then each projected fragment draws upon that unlimited field of possibilities. Thought provides the mobility that allows creation to flow into manifestation. Thought has the potential of thinking within and upon itself. This is another way of describing free will. Thus, these added levels of activity enable endless variety to be present. Now, if that is true, why then isn't every fragment totally different? You were created in the image and similitude of that which projected you into existence. Here, the law of attraction, of similar yet different, is seen at work. If that was absent, then there could be no exchange of thought, and creation would be just an unending field of unrelated diversity. Enter what you call intelligence, which is nothing more than thought thinking within itself, and observing itself, observe itself, a spiraling activity. Focused thought thinks itself outward, into manifestation. This is a slowing of the vibratory rate of the extended thought to the lowest level at which it can contain its purposeful intent. At that point, the manifested thought can no longer perceive its source. It is in a state of thinking awareness that can now perceive itself and its surrounding environment. In your vernacular, it can no longer clearly remember the nature of its source, so it has forgotten. Since it is projected thought, it must maintain its connection in order to remain in manifestation. Through this connection lies the potentiality of the fragment focusing its own thought processes purposefully back through this connective energy flow, and then beginning to remember what it is, which is again thought thinking, within and upon itself. Since the holographic projection is an extension process of outward movement of thought, the natural inclination is to continue the outward movement through the use, in this scenario, of its sensory tools to think, observe. Indeed, we could go on, for volumes of books, to cover the beginning story of this planet, and its history of inhabitants, but that would take us far afield from the purpose of this message. The point is to help you realize that thought thinking within and upon itself is commonly experienced by you, because it is exactly what you are. Through choice, you create diverse experiences. Through thinking and choosing, each experiences commonly shared situations differently. This is the natural flow of creation, within itself. This sounds idealistic when the current situation surrounding you is considered. When multiple human beings, extensions of thought from higher dimensional foci, experience interactions, combined thought patterns, evolve. These thought patterns in movement are something like your breathing process. They expand to a certain point, and then relax and contract, by returning first to a restive state. Involved within this process, you experience positive and negative polarities, or so you have named them. It is a slow spiraling process, just as your breathing process was intended, to assist you in a slow spiraling process. If these are the parameters of experience, then you can begin to perceive that the contraction-relaxation phase of your process, in this moment of planetary experience, is not in a normal state. It is very distorted indeed. Your intended freedom of thought choice process has been violated. It is layers of thought distortion experiencing contraction that has bypassed the restive point that normally allows for the return to the expansive mode. Hopefully, you can now overlay this understanding upon the planetary experience. If so, you see that in order for the distorted plan to accomplish their moment of beginning, following use of planned chaos, which is to be their field of opportunity to cause a change of polarity, they must allow the restive point to be reached. Their ideal is to attain this by overwhelming the greater part of the conscious awareness of this planet through a majority of its inhabitants. This is to be teamed with the ending, or shifting, of a major creative cycle in this galaxy. There exists within their timing and their methodology their greatest weakness. For the contraction of awareness beyond the universal norm, when placed in a momentary rest point, sets up the opportunity for a reactive expansion of major proportions. Carefully placed triggers within the same contracted awareness can ensure this expansion. Welcome to the winning side. Focus and manifest. Indeed,